Hi, and good evening, everyone. My name is Albert, and this is Vlogs About Nothing. Thank you very much for taking the time out of your very busy night to join me. I really do appreciate that. Do you guys think that I forgot about you? Seriously, I guess for what it's worth, I would in fact forget about my own self, if in fact given the opportunity. So, just in case I have any future amnesia, or any sort of long-term memory loss, I'm okay with that, all right? So, every day is a new sort of opportunity, regardless of whether or not, I guess, you wake up the same person or not. You feel me? It doesn't matter, right? So just move your little ass forward and make the best of your day. Anyways, what have y'all been up to? I actually recorded a lot of videos when I was most recently in the Washington, D.C. area, but I didn't post any of them. Avi, you feel me? Just because I'm just getting used to this, just getting accustomed, rather, to this new sort of schedule I have in my life, and I would be completely lying to you if I didn't say that there's a very big part of me that thoroughly enjoys the new sort of opportunities that have been presented to me and so forth. And so, yeah, I'm just kind of taking my own advice, just moving forward. But that still doesn't mean that I can't spend a little bit of time with you here, I'm back home for what it's worth. I've been back in Albuquerque now for about a week or so, so that's been really nice. And hopefully I'll hear back. Now, I was supposed to hear on Thursday, but there was some unfortunate mishaps with our production crew. But hopefully, I'll be reporting some good news in that I got a speaking role, in an actual movie. And that's all fun, right? It's one line, okay? It's not like at anything, it's not anything cool. To me, it's very cool. You feel me? I'm just, doing what I do with my own self, and, that's how it's done. I miss you guys. I miss being able to improv for a given amount of time. And it always keeps me on my toes, There's nothing like daily improv to make you your best self. I thoroughly and truly mean that. And if you play your cards right, you're nice to people, you make calls incessantly on over to customer service, you feel me? And eventually you meet that one right person and things go well for you and it's all good, That's how life works. Shout out to Viana, right? This awesome girl that I'm talking to. And if I didn't say her name right, I'm sure I'll hear about it. But really, this is a new thing for me. I'm taking it slow, and I actually am, trying to like get to know a woman. You feel me? And like all of what that entails, and not too focused on bringing it home, you feel me? It's not so much as that, like, yeah, that's awesome and stuff, but working on different things, We all grow, right? I mean, inevitably, sometimes most of you make decisions a whole lot faster and better than me, but eventually I get around to it, Something that has not changed, and in fact has gotten worse, right? So the last video I made was 2 weeks ago. It was the first time, federal authorities committed murder. That was the first time that I had made a video in a while. Terrible video. Jesus Christ. Who wants to continue to talk about how federal authorities are literally offing off people? You feel me? Whether it's a protester or an ICU nurse that is well within his constitutional carry amendment, you know what I mean? It doesn't seem to matter, right? You piss off the guys in masks and they'll shoot you in the face. This is not a joke, unfortunately. And yeah, I'm laughing about it just because it's sort of like, is that what it's come to? And the point of today's video is I actually wanted to discuss how much it would cost for you to sell out your soul. You feel me? Like for real, I mean, come on, let's get down to brass tacks here, We're all just everyday people trying to get through and live our lives, you feel me? How much would it take for you to be an asshole? You know, how much would it take for you to put on a mask, wear some Levi 505s, throw on those Red Wing boots, strap on up, and go, you know, mess with Jose down on Central Avenue making burritos? You feel me? Like, I just, I don't understand what's really happening, and I dare say that, well, I mean, more specifically, all the people that live in Minnesota, you know, we got a whole state that is very, very angry. Moreover, there are a lot of people that are not in the state, you know, people like myself that are hanging out here in Albuquerque, New Mexico, just diddle-daddling their lives away, you know, that are hella supportive of our citizens, you feel me, and like that, nobody has the right, you know, no federal authority has the right to end your life on some ill-conceived bullshit, you feel me? Like, you know, that's all, right? I mean, I think that we can all agree with that, unless you're a monster, you feel me? Or unless you just want to straight up lie, you know? I mean, there's that beautiful woman who's in charge of all of these evil people that is making shit up, you feel me? Like, straight up going full Pam Bondi on that bitch, you know? Just like, Jesus Christ. It's really hard to argue with somebody that is, you know, lying their ass off, you feel me? I mean, even given, like, there's a plethora of, you know, empirical data to suggest otherwise, you know? Other people's perceptions, or their lack of perceptions as they concern the truth, is quite telling. You know, again, this is coming from the guy who thinks that woman is pretty attractive. Terribly evil, very attractive, you know? But to go back to that question, right? Why am I asking the question? Like, how much would it take for you to sell out your soul? And exactly, what does selling your soul mean? You feel me? Like, for all of my, you know, non-religious, you know, fans out there, you know, what exactly does that mean? I think it's pretty simple, you know? I mean, I think we can all equate the soul to a healthy level of cognitive recognition of your acts, you know what I mean? And so there's a point, right? We all walk around with our own set of values, and fortunately for most of us, they all seem to line up for the most part. I mean, you know, maybe if you're white, you get a few more perks. Maybe if you're a white man, you get a handful of way more perks. You know, who knows? I don't know. You know, I'm just saying that, like, that's how this shit works. You feel me? And it's just really important that, like, when you talk about inequality and, you know, just what it would take, most of us live our lives in complete abject silence with no problems or no F's given to not just, you know, how the government treats us, but to, like, how terrible the government treats us. You feel me? I mean, you know, working 40-year careers at minimum wage doesn't do anybody any long-term mental health, you know, doesn't afford them any, you know, long-term health benefits or rewards or anything like that. But what's understood, you know, is that there's a lot of, most 98% of people are non-violent, you know, people who are just trying to get by and everything, you feel me? And I just, we all wouldn't do certain things for X amount of money, right? Just because, like, we're not a part of that 2% of psychopaths and sociopaths who will gladly sell their mother down the river for, you know, a handful of Bitcoin. You feel me? I mean, I don't know. Think about that. That was a deep joke. But anyways, I'm just saying, right? So, like, we all have a price, you know, whatever. It's like, Albert, how much would it take for you to, you know, completely sell out, you know, your own soul and everything? I mean, I don't know. I mean, we're being completely honest with each other. Quite a lot, you feel me? I mean, I've lost so much money at this point in my life, and I've lost so many opportunities financially, you know, that it's sort of like, yeah, you know, whatever. You got $50 million, dude, you know? I mean, just because even at that, like, I'm not the guy to trust with $50 million. I'm just letting you know now, right? Just because, like, I'll happily give it all away, you feel me? It sounds like a lot of stress to me, actually. $50 million sounds like 50 million headaches. But that's your socialist talking, you feel me? Anyways, so, like, yeah, you know, maybe your neighbors, maybe your teachers, maybe a church pastor that you attend congregation at, you feel me? Maybe somebody that you know is an ICE agent. And to those people that know that there is an ICE agent in and or around them and or their closest familial members, family members, or friends, like, go screw yourselves. You feel me? All of you. Like, seriously. There should be no amount of money that Uncle Sam can offer to make your life better at the cost of everyone else's, because everyone else's life is just as shitty as yours. You feel me? So, like, arbitrarily selling out for six figures, you know, and being able to go to Applebee's on the daily, you feel me? I mean, can't we ask for a little bit more when we sell ourselves out? You know, I mean, a little bit more. Jesus Christ, after taxes, after, you know, inflation, after the good old boys up north taking everything that they absolutely can from your poor ass, you're left with little to nothing, right? So, like, again, dimes to dollars, bitches. Like, you gotta have some forethought. Like, you got to, right? Just because, like, when Uncle Sam comes at you, you know, on that, like, ultimate, you know, devil's advocate type deal, you know, it's sort of like, okay, you know, maybe I can hear this out, but aren't the fascists paying more money? You know, like, Jesus Christ. $150,000 a year is just simply a cop out. Literally, it's a cheap ass excuse for middle-aged men like myself to go sign on up to get hired on at the Department of you know, the criminal whatever, the people dressed in masks. Again, at this point, you guys should audition for jobs at Disney, you know, just because, like, that's the kind of credentials that you're building, my friend, you know? I mean, if only the rest of us could go to work every day, you know, in our masks and act like complete assholes and just, you know, have immunity to shoot people in the face, you know, then the world would undoubtedly be a terrible, terrible place. So, these jokes are getting a little dark, aren't they? I better stop. Last time I heard, the guys in masks were actively seeking out socialists, so I'm sure they know where I live, you know what I mean? So, like, let's not make this complicated. Anyways, I am a socialist, and I stand by absolutely everything I say. ICE sucks. They are absolute criminals, committing murder, you know, to our fellow neighbors and sovereign citizens alike, and that's a problem, right? I don't think, you know, the founding fathers, if we're going to go that route, or just anybody with half a brain, is down to support a fascist government that is hell-bent on making your life worse. You feel me? As if your life wasn't already bad. Like, jobs, there aren't any jobs, you know, there isn't any new industry that is popping off. I mean, let's not talk about AI or Nvidia or any of the other fascists, you know, let's stay away from that, and let's just focus on how everyday people are living increasingly worse lives every single day, you know, and that's important. And I think every American is more concerned with that, right, with that, than they are, you know, as they rightfully should be. You know, that's their goddamn concern, you know, is paying their mortgage, making sure they have enough money to appease the landlord that keeps jacking up rent every time they renew a lease. These are, without a doubt, common occurrences that we can all agree on, you know, and if you can't, then I applaud you. Live long and prosper, my friend. Keep spending that money. Without you, the economy is just a complete fabrication of what otherwise is actually a genuinely good idea. You know what I mean? It is, you know, ideally speaking, there should not be as many problems as there are, but the guys in masks and the fascist president continue to make our lives worse than they already are. Again, and, you know, blame all of them, the Democrats and the Republicans, because this is single-handedly, this is their fault. You know, it's our fault too, right? Like, you know, holding some accountability for our actions. We voted, you know, a felon into office, right? That we did that. And now we have 2 more years to live with our decisions so that we can move forward and make the world a better place, right? Because this is an awful time to be an American citizen, right? It really is, you know. Part of being an American citizen embodies a sense of freedom that in its totality is absolutely being violated by the guys playing cosplay. You feel me? In no way, shape, or form can there ever be a safe, prosperous, and authentic feeling community if guys in masks and automatic, guns are walking around in that said place. It's just not possible. Okay? Right? And I don't think there's a good rebuttal to that. I just if you're in a place where you need to feel safer with armed guys in masks walking around you, then my friend, maybe you should hang out in different places, Just because the world's a big place, it doesn't have to be this weird, and we should all not have to, as Americans, worry about getting picked up by some random in a mask on some crazy... It's not good. It's not good for business, god damn it. And that's what this socialist is saying, right? Is that this is not good for business. So, capitalists, fascists, Democrats, Republicans, you know what I mean? Like, wake up, because, it's no joke, senators are getting arrested for speaking their mind. And that's a scary time when our elected officials are being targeted to have been removed from office as a result of their viewpoints. Again, keep in mind that politicians are elected entirely based on their viewpoints, They're not bringing anything tangible to the table other than what they believe in and how they want to pass those beliefs on to the larger portion of the government, who is then supposed to be not just understanding and diplomatic, but lawfully, recognizing said behavior of such awesome state-membered party. You feel me? Anyways, that's where I end this video. Hey guys, I really appreciate you watching my video. I don't mean to upset anyone. I myself am not the kind of guy to just sort of curse profusely in any sort of a public venue, especially when I'm speaking. It's just not as impactful as other people so eloquently use curse words when they're trying to make a point. You feel me? It's just not something that is I've never been trained to do that, and so I just not something that I only do not know how to do. It's something that I don't feel comfortable doing, but goddamn, you feel me? At some point, it's just sort of like I wish there were other words, to describe how our blood boils, when we're exposed to the kind of tactics that this fascist government is using. That's a problem. You feel me? That's some Gestapo Spanish Inquisition level shit, my guys and girls. Nobody should be worried about that, right? Again, just because we're already worried about so many more things. Our family, whether or not we're going to be able to eat, whether or not the government is going to, slash food stamps for everyone in a few months so that Trump can buy more planes and shit. I mean, who knows, The thing is, it's so scary, right? For all of us, because we all collectively don't know a goddamn thing. You feel me? And at this point in time, we are being governed by a group of people who are actively seeking out harm to its constituents. That's not any way at all to run a government. You feel me? Checks and balances. You feel me? Call it what you will, but at the face of it, it is awful. And I hope that you guys take care of yourselves. And I hope that, ICE knows that they suck. You feel me? And that we know they're all making a little bit of cash. And, none of us are hating on that. We're just simply hating on the fact that you're selling out yourself to physically remove the very people that have probably helped you and probably made you a meal, probably wished you a good day. You feel me? And you're out trying to actively cause them harm. I'm not a legal professional, but that sounds like some goddamn criminal behavior to me. At the end of the day, that's what it sounds like. So, continue to peacefully speak your mind and be mindful of your surroundings, right? That's all that we can do. So I hope that you guys have a really good night. Take care of yourselves. Be safe. And stay vigilant. You feel me? That's all. So, bye everyone. Stay safe for real.